In this video, I'm going to attempt to be making char cloth, which essentially is cotton fabric heated up to a high temperature inside of a metal can, such as this chicken can, over a fire. And then essentially what it's supposed to do is catch fire real easy if it's done right. So I'm going to be attempting to do this tonight. I don't have a campfire or anything, so I'll be using this propane powered burn pit. And I've already put in some jeans that I cut up and put inside this chicken can here. So the idea is just to put it on top of the flames here, turn it on, and wait about 10 minutes or so, and then hopefully we'll get a good char cloth. Get this thing going and warmed up. Well, it'll stay lit. There it goes. It's just a small propane fire pit that takes those green propane canisters. Now, I've already put the holes on the top of the can so that gases could escape. And theoretically, once those stop smoking, then the char cloth is ready. Looks like it's already beginning. There's some residual paper on the outside and some glue from the labeling, so that'll burn off pretty quick. And hopefully, not too long from now, we'll have some char cloth. And normally I'd like to use this rocket stove that I made to make the char cloth, but I don't want to get any like residue on the side of this because I'm going to be using it to cook food. I'll make this in another video of how this works, but essentially you just put the sticks in here, then put a grill or something on the top right here in this hole, and then because of heat the air gets sucked through here and pushed out of the top, and then it creates somewhat of a convection current, and that way it keeps the fire going. And suppose you could cook like a whole meal with a few bundles of sticks. But back to this thing. Already got the fire going on there. It's getting pretty warm. It's already turning colors on the bottom. Well, like I said, hopefully about 10 minutes we'll go ahead and let it cool down and open it up and see what we get. Well, it's been a couple minutes now, and it looks like we're already getting some ignition coming out of the holes there, as you can see. That means that the gases are building up in there and starting to char the cloth, and they're coming out these holes and catching on fire when they hit the rest of the fire. So that's a good sign that it's actually working. I apologize for it being dark outside, but it's about the only time of day I could actually get some time to do this. And well, hopefully we'll have a good result. See that catching up there? Starting to burn pretty nice. And because there was that bunch of chicken in here, even though it's been washed out thoroughly, the dog seems to find interest in it. But that's alright. Looks like we're starting to get a nice flame starting to form on there, which is a great sign. Alright, we're going on about 5 minutes now into our char cloth making, and it's still smoking pretty good, which is also a good sign. It's burning off all that stuff that's not required to make char cloth. It's actually, for a little can, it's producing, if I can't see it, no you can't, it's producing quite a bit of smoke coming off of there. You can see it there a little bit. And all that steam's a good thing. That just means that the cloth is actually charring and not burning, which is the whole point of having it in the metal can. See, it's kind of burning off there a little bit coming out of the holes. So maybe about 5 more minutes of this. I think once the smoke stops coming out of those holes, we'll be ready to turn it off and let it cool down and see what we get. Alright, we're about 7 minutes in, and it looks like the fire's starting to kick up out of them holes. Get some good burn off there. How close I can get with this phone. I used to have an OtterBox case, so that's good, but I can get as close as I can to the fire without it burning up. See, it's pushing that steam out, which is surprisingly flammable. I guess it's working for being on a fire pit, which is great. Probably not the best survivalist way to go, but seems to be working. Yeah, it's coming out of there now pretty good. Now this isn't a really big fire pit either. It's maybe 1.5 feet high. Not much bigger than the green bottle itself. Just for small patios and stuff. But it seems to be working really good. Zooming in helps it any. Yeah, not bad at all. Hopefully that will stop soon and we'll be able to turn it off and let it cool down. Then we'll open it up. I don't know if you could hear it, but it's making a pretty cool noise. Almost sounds like the gases are getting pushed out pretty hard with force. Alright, so it's been about more or less 15 minutes. I stuffed this thing full of old ripped pair of jeans, so usually just like 2 or 3 sheets of it will take about 5 minutes or so, but since I shoved it full of the char cloth, it probably took more about 20 minutes, but that's okay. As you can see on the top, the steam has stopped coming out and it's not burning anymore, so that kind of indicates that it's more or less finished. The smell coming out of it smells more kind of like, it's like fresh rubber tires or some cheap rubber, rubber stuff. Doesn't smell that great, but we're going to go ahead and turn it off and let it sit for about 10 minutes so it'll cool down, and then we'll open it up to see what's in there. See, there's kind of some black soot stuff on the top of the can. That's interesting. I don't know what that would be. It'll be interesting to find out when we open it up. So about 10 minutes from now we'll let it cool down. It's kind of cold in the 40s outside, so we'll let it cool down and open it up in about 10 minutes. Alright, so the char cloth has been cooling for about 20 minutes outside in about 45-degree weather. So I think it's about time we pull this stuff off and see what we get. Still looks like a bunch of nasty stuff came out of it. So let's see, it's still pretty warm. So let's open this thing together, see what we get here. Here we go, look at that. That, my friends, is a lot of char cloth. Yeah, look at that. I believe we have a successful char cloth burn. It's still kind of smoking a little bit. It's still pretty warm in there. But with this stuff here, we'll be able to start fires really easy. And even, see where I can grab it up here. Should be able to use this polished aluminum can here in the sun. And use that char cloth right there. We'll be able to use the sun, the char cloth, and this can to start a spark, which you can put into some embers, which can start a fire. So that will be in another video. But until then, it looks like we've had quite the successful char cloth construction here. So until then, let's look forward to my next video where I show you guys how to use this stuff. Thanks for watching.